So we've all been playing some good, fun Helldivers. It's good for the soul. It's like chicken soup for the soul. It's just good for you, okay? One of the cool revelations that has come in the last couple of days has not just been the announcements that basically mechs are going to be in the game soon. We saw gameplay footage of it. We saw that. If you have not seen that Luke Stevens live clip, just search Luke Stevens live Helldivers 2 mechs and you'll see it. Like, it's right there. We say heck divers on YouTube. Sorry. I'm so sorry, everybody. So sorry. But in Heck Divers 2, there is a really cool meta game within a game. Like, it's not just about fighting bugs and automatons and shouting
death to all of them.
It's also about the meta fight of like them taking over planets and players contributing to the overall war, trying to keep them away from Super Earth and stuff like that. It's super, super cool. And one of the interesting things about it is that they discussed how they have a game master. Now, this kind of goes with something they've talked about in previous interviews right around the game's like initial launch. And that is that the devs are old school fans of tabletop RPGs and games like Dungeons and Dragons or Warhammer 40K and stuff. And they take a lot of those lessons from the tabletop RPGs into these into their game Helldivers 2. And specifically, one of the things that they've done is they have a game master named Joel, and he's basically in charge of the meta war, and nobody messes with him. Nobody does anything. Like, it's just, he kind of decides what's going on with all of it. It's super interesting. Recently, it was revealed in an interview that Helldivers 2 has a dedicated game master called Joel who controls several elements of the game's Galactic War metagame. Exactly what Joel can and can't do wasn't made clear in the interview. So early on Thursday morning, Helldivers 2 creative director Johan Palstedt clarified things in a post on Twitter or X. Joel controls which orders, major and personal, are active and chooses where terminid bugs and automaton bots attack. He can also, quote, reinforce planets and give players bonus stratagems to use for temporary amounts of time. The outcomes of campaigns for a planet's freedom, however, are determined by the community's performance in battle. They've actually confirmed that. I didn't think they were. I thought it was just like, they kind of fudge the numbers a little bit. It's like not actually doing much, but you kind of think it is. But no, apparently it actually is determined by the community's performance in the game. Palstedt said that Joel also has jurisdiction over, quote, other stuff we haven't revealed yet, and hasn't detailed these things so developer Arrowhead Studios can surprise and delight in the future. So apparently they have other big like meta game systems that they just haven't even mentioned yet. That's crazy. That's crazy. The game master, quote, has a lot of control over the play experience, inspired by the exciting twists good dungeon masters introduced to tabletop stories in Dungeons and Dragons. Arrowhead aims to bring something similar to its game, albeit on a colossal community-wide scale. Quote, as a follow-up on Game Master abilities, the majority of the role is to choose which major order takes place, what daily order is active, and decide where the enemies attack. The war fought and liberation of planets, that's all you. We can also reinforce planets if needed and give temporary equipment to the entire community and other stuff we haven't revealed yet. Maybe that's where mechs come in. Maybe that's where community support comes in. I'm not sure. Because they've also said that, or it's been leaked or said, I can't keep track of what's been officially revealed or not, but there's going to be the ability to call in like AI controlled NPCs to fight with you. So maybe that's something that comes in too, where it's like, okay, we need all hands on deck. You can now use this stratagem to call in 5 AI to help you, which is kind of cool. So there you have it. While Joel and his string pulling dictates where major conflicts take place and who will be fighting in our efforts to win them, the community's victories and defeats are what will ultimately determine if we're able to liberate enemy-controlled worlds or defend our own from invasion. The latest order from Joel is a call to action to liberate Veld by Monday morning, which is in danger of being overrun by a surprising bug infestation. If Joel is feeling merciful, gods be good. He can choose to give everyone a temporary bonus stratagem like he did with Incendiary Mines after we freed Turing and Fenrir 3 from the Terminid control. Apparently, he can also, quote, reinforce planets, end quote, which I take to mean he can influence a planet's liberation percentage in either our or the community or enemy's favor if things start to go in a direction Arrowhead, for whatever reason, doesn't want. See, this is kind of where I'm like, they can still keep it on train tracks if they want to. Like, if they really want this planet to flip, they can just do that. But it's cool that they do have a mechanic where players' contributions to the planet's liberation actually have a role to play. I mean, it's just cool. Amusingly, many are already using that last bit as ammunition to blame Joel for the recent loss of Malevolent Creek, a fan favorite automaton planet famous for how tough it is to fight on. Players have been fighting hard to free Malevolent Creek for weeks. Notably, a new counteroffensive to take it began yesterday morning, but the highest its liberation percentage has ever gotten is 25%. It is deep in bot-controlled space, though, so maybe that's why it's proven to be so hard to liberate. You, like myself, are probably wondering what that stuff we haven't revealed yet bit is about, but we probably won't find out for a while. In the aforementioned interview, Pilestead noted that Arrowhead wants to keep some of Joel's capabilities hidden for now so it can surprise and delight later. Quote, it's Game Master Systems, something we're continuously evolving based on what's happening in the game, and as part of the roadmap, there are things we want to keep secret because we want to surprise and delight. Speaking of their roadmap, it hasn't been released publicly yet, though now that the game's server capacity issues are over, I suspect we'll be getting it soon. We currently don't know much about what Arrowhead is planning for the future, although the studio did tease massive armored mechs coming soon after launch in the Report for Duty trailer. Gameplay of these mechs leaked on Reddit yesterday, and they look like they'll be as powerful as everyone is hoping they will be. And they do look awesome. So it just seems like there's even more here. There are more layers to it. There's more meta mechanics. For me, I'm hoping that the meta stuff is actually real. I do hope that like they can invade Super Earth. I hope that they can invade pretty much wherever, and maybe we get the automaton and bug infestations combined and all sorts of cool stuff. I guess we'll see if we actually end up getting that. Time will tell, but it is very promising, to say the least, that they have done the work seemingly to do it, and they're talking about it. They say they have more stuff kind of up their sleeve, and it's just the polar opposite of some of these other live service games we've gotten, where they develop them for years and years and years, and then we get them and there's like 3 hours of content stretched over 10 hours, and then the end game is laughably terrible, and it's not even that fun to begin with. Whereas Helldivers, the core gameplay loop is super fun, and if you get to like the hardest difficulty and you're very, very good at the game and your squad is super elite, that's great. And there's a lot of endgame stuff with upgrading the ship and all that, and it seems like they're actually just adding more and more, and there's a meta game with it that's actually satisfying in that you're liberating planets and fighting the automatons and stuff. It's super, super cool. I love it. I love it. I guarantee there will be proper boss fights without a doubt. Yeah, well, and apparently other little stuff like, for example, the Bile Titans. Bile Titans are apparently, in the lore, considered quite small on their homeworld. So if that's to be believed, like if we ever delve deeper into like bug control territory, there's going to be some very, very big, crazy encounters, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm excited. Helldivers 2 just keeps getting better and better. I'm sold on Helldivers now. Yeah, you should be. It's good fun. It's good fun. He took my thing.